I just had a quick story about one of my clips blowing up to over 130,000 views, which honestly, I achieved using a fancy editing app I was paying a hefty $161 a month for. That application did everything from trimming to motion text, but I kept wondering if I could truly replicate those results using only free tools right here on my PC. So today, I'm walking you through editing a whole reel from scratch using a completely free editor and showing exactly where a tool like Vizard saves you hours in that expensive subscription. Let's jump right into the process by clicking Create New Video to get your blank canvas ready. In most editors, you'll find the timeline at the bottom where your footage lives, with all the necessary controls sitting off to the side. Before getting fancy, the next crucial step is importing all your raw files by hitting Import Media, selecting everything you shot and opening them up. My usual editing flow involves cutting, adding text, dropping in music, throwing in transitions, adding captions, and sometimes sprinkling in a few B-roll clips for context. While the expensive apps handled this quickly, you will be surprised how many of these essential tasks are completely doable in free software too. First, just drag your main talking clip onto the timeline, and the software will usually auto-fit it into the canvas based on resolution. If your video is vertical but your canvas is landscape, modern editors will smartly pick a fit style so nothing looks unnaturally stretched out. Once the clip is placed, check the basic transform tools where you can use crop to frame to focus on your subject or hit fit to scale the clip up. Under More, you will find controls like Flip and Picture-in-Picture, which is handy for showing a screen recording scaled down in a corner behind your talking head. As a pro tip, if you recorded sound separately, you should detach the audio track so you can mute the clip audio or replace it with your cleaner, separate recording. In this editor, clicking Detach Audio splits your video and audio into two separate, controllable tracks. Now for the trimming, I always scrub the timeline to find silence, stutters, and ums to start cutting with the S key shortcut where you place the playhead. To be absolutely precise, zoom in on the timeline using Ctrl+ index, and then delete the unwanted section by right-clicking or hitting the delete key. If this cutting leaves behind empty spaces, right-click the resulting gap and choose Delete this gap to automatically pull all the subsequent clips together. Moving on to text, start by adding a main heading like Digital Business Card with clickable links by dragging a plain text layer to the timeline and editing the content. Align the text, choose a bold font like Poppins, tweak the size and spacing until both lines look visually balanced. If you want a colored block behind the text but the free editor lacks shape creation, work around it by exporting a transparent rectangle PNG from Canva and placing it behind your text for a polished look. Next, click the text or PNG layer, go to Effects, and try a pulse, flash, or color shift, hovering over them to preview the little animated accents that make the reel feel custom. If you skip the background rectangle, a simple text layer with a clean drop shadow can work just as effectively to add emphasis. Time to bring in the B-roll by importing supplementary clips and placing them on the track above your main talking clip so they appear while you keep the narration going. If that B-roll has its own audio, make sure to mute it because you typically only need one cohesive audio track running for the entire edit. Play through the sequence to confirm the visual timing matches the voiceover, and use the S key to cut B-roll in and out to keep pace with your talking points. For the music, open the content library, navigate to audio, filter by free to use, and drag a legally cleared track into the audio lane. Balance the levels so the music doesn't overpower the dialogue, generally dialing the music down to around 20-30% volume. If the music or dialogue levels feel off, select the appropriate clips and nudge the volume up or down per clip until you achieve a consistent listening experience across the reel. You might need to select 3 specific clips together and increase their gain in the audio section to ensure perfectly matched loudness throughout. Captions are exciting, because many free editors now include an automatic captions or speech-to-text option. Click the CC option and turn on auto-captions. Choose your language, click Transcribe Media, and wait while the tool analyzes the audio to generate captions that appear as you scrub the timeline. You will likely want to tweak the caption size, alignment, color, and font, and if the editor duplicates them, mute the duplicate audio track so only one set is active. Delete any captions you don't need, like those on the intro headline, and for the rest, change the color to red or a brand color and center align them for impact. For non-English captions, pick the closest looking font that reads well, since specific language options can sometimes be limited. If the footage looks flat, select 2 similar clips, ungroup if necessary, hit Adjust Color, and make small tweaks to exposure, contrast, saturation, and temperature until it feels right. Apply those exact same color settings to all matching clips so your final reel maintains a completely consistent visual style from beginning to end. Do one last full pass by playing the edit to check for awkward cuts, mismatched audio, or caption timing errors, and ignore any visual gaps warning if you left them intentionally for stylistic pauses. Export choosing 1080p for high quality, as this is usually allowed in free editors and is perfect for social platforms, then name your file clearly and save it to your computer. Now here's the deal. With patience, you can get a great reel from free software, but if you create lots of clips, a tool like Vizard is a total game changer that saves hours. Manual editing is fine for one video, but what if you have a 45-minute interview and need 10 punchy clips for Reels, TikTok, and Shorts, which takes hours for all the cuts and scheduling? Vizard's AI finds the viral moments automatically, pulling out attention-grabbing segments, suggesting thumbnails, and assembling ready-to-post clips in minutes instead of an afternoon. Also, Vizard's auto-schedule feature is golden because you set the posting frequency, and it queues clips for the exact live time without any manual uploading or guesswork. The content calendar acts as your control center, letting you schedule, edit captions, shift times, and publish across all your social platforms from one unified dashboard. If you manage multiple channels, that centralization is worth its weight in gold because it stops you from constantly hopping between apps. When you compare this to free editors or mid-tier tools like Clipchamp or Canva, they are great for one-offs but cannot auto-scan long videos to extract multiple virals or schedule automatically. Expensive editors offer finer control but cost a fortune and still don't solve the core problem of creating many short clips quickly, whereas Vizard sits in that sweet spot for quantity plus quality without the grind. Vizard's auto-captions are very accurate and output platform-ready files, and its music suggestions and audio leveling are done with publishing in mind, not just looking pretty. You might still use a free editor for creative flourishes sometimes, but for scaling content, Vizard dramatically speeds up the entire workflow from start to finish. So, the bottom line is you can edit a killer reel with free software using the steps. Import, cut with S, detach audio, add text, drop B-roll, insert music, auto-transcribe, color adjust, and export 1080p. But if you want to turn long videos into dozens of optimized clips and get them scheduled without the busy work, Vizard makes that entire necessary process way less painful. If you want, I can take the exact same raw footage and show you two versions side by side. One made step-by-step in the free editor, and another batch produced automatically in Vizard. Feel free to drop a comment below or send me a direct message with your raw footage and I will happily whip up that side-by-side comparison for you. Alright everyone, that is everything you need to know to get started. Now go out there and make some content. Remember the key takeaways. Trim your footage ruthlessly, always keep your captions large and readable, and never forget to properly check your music levels. And finally, if you find yourself churning out short clips on a regular basis, please give Vizard a real try because it is the ultimate shortcut nobody tells you about until you are already completely exhausted from the manual editing grind.